What up, what up, what up? Baby daddy stand up. Okay, lost one baby daddy to the MCU. You know what? We got another one back.
That's a fact.
I'm ready.
That's a fact.
Frankie, how are you feeling? We're
I'm
at the
feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I will say I was hoping I'd get a pull-up shot. I know I had promised that last Sherrod. I thought I was getting a pull-up shot. Did not get that. No salmon ladder, none of that. But I'm happy we got him. No egg on my face there.
Can we just that moment, right? That moment when I realized that Disney was going to deliver on a cameo. And then not only would it's not even a cameo, they were going to deliver on introducing a character who was in the majority of the whole episode.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to say I believed in them last week, though. I believed in them last week. I was sad. I was like, maybe not. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it to them.
I mean, I'm biased, okay, because my baby daddy. So, I mean, at the end of the day, am I going to hate on the show that gave me my baby daddy to the MCU when they went away from me? I'm not, but we're going to keep it 100% honest. You know, people had comments for us. They said that it might have been just for me. They said that I was being negative. I was being like real down on the show. And I'm like, guys, we all can agree to disagree. I don't mean to attack a show. It's like when you have that child that you see their potential, that you know what they were put on this earth to do, and they are not living at their full potential. That's how I feel about Disney. That's all, because I know what they're capable of.
Agreed. I do have to say, like, I was excited to see Jonathan Majors and that I wasn't wrong that he'd be in this, but it was mid. This episode was mid, and I felt like it was like I was watching a very long mid-credits scene.
Now, when you say mid, explain the mid for the people.
Oh, mid. That's a term for weed heads. There's loud, which is exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
And then mid means I got a little high, but like this is obviously ghetto weed from the corner. And then that's what mid is. And then I would say I forgot what week is, but mid is like it does its job kind of, but it wasn't exceptional. And yeah, I just was watching it. I was like, this is a mid-credit scene. Like if I saw this at the end of like Iron Man or something, I'd be like, oh, word. Like something about it just didn't feel like I was watching an episode of television. It wasn't a series.
I can see that. Hey, Brandon, I forgot to call you back. My bad. I got called out. No, I got to call
That's a hard press in the live.
I know, right? But you know, I'm gonna put my big girl panties on. I'm gonna admit when I was wrong. I forgot. But I mean, I'm biased, and I can say I'm biased because it's my baby daddy. Right. Now, if I'm just looking at this as an episode, I mean, you know, could this episode have had the same impact and still taken place in 15 minutes? Sure. It could have happened in 15 minutes. We could have did all of that in 15 minutes. Could have
been an email. That's the whole.
My baby daddy talk and just joke and laugh. I was okay with it. But I think it's fair to say that for people expecting a lot, it wasn't like a huge, like, oh my gosh, like all of these revelations. I think if anything, I think it's one of those episodes that's more of a setup for the rest of the MCU than necessary trying to resolve what is happening in season 1 of Loki. I don't think that this is necessarily like, oh, what does this mean for Loki? This is like, nah, how many different variants of Kang are we going to get for the MCU as a whole?
That's all I thought about. Like, and to your point, you asked me this the first time we spoke, and I'll never forget it. What is Loki about? It ain't about Loki, because at the end, I wasn't even thinking about Loki. I was thinking about other, like, just other things. And then there are so many questions. I feel like, and I wrote them down. Hold on. Excuse me. There's so many questions here, okay, that I just feel like they're not gonna answer. Okay.
Tell me your questions.
Okay.
We're gonna figure out the answers together.
We're gonna fill out. Oh, sorry, this is my Black Widow questions. Okay. I had some questions here, but not as many. Why are the Loki special?
The Loki what?
Why are the Loki special?
Wait, one sec. Hi, Elliot. Because I got distracted. What's special?
What? No, I'm saying, why are the Lokis special? Like, they were being singled out. Like, why?
But see how I took that? I took it like every version of certain people in all timelines are being singled out. Because at the end of the day, that brought up that question. It's not even the Lokis that are special. When we saw that there's another Ravonna, it's like, so, because that opened up a whole nother can of worms. Because when I saw Ravonna, then I was like, for Sylvie, what version of everybody's life, like what variant was she showing them? Like, are they like, did they have this previous life, or was she showing them the variants of them from different timelines?
Also, question there. I had that too. Like, what did we? Is she enchanting their version, or like their previous life? Or are they? Is this a different life that she was enchanting? Also, to your point, why are some Minuteman and working for the TVA and the rest get automatically pruned?
Why do some of them in the rest get pruned?
The variants. So, like, how does he choose?
Like it was his personal choice. I mean, I think everything is arbitrary, because if you think about it, when basically he just came and said, hey, it could be two Lokis in one timeline. And I was just like, but Sway, how? Because you told us that couldn't happen. And now, so it's almost like, how did Sylvie and Loki touching each other create a Nexus event if you're telling me that they could just be in a whole timeline together and that's just okay?
Yeah, so that was our other question. What was the Nexus event that happened on Lamentis? Because I don't think it was them touching. I personally think, my theory is it was that they were gonna die, and that wasn't supposed to happen. Does that make sense? So it wasn't that they were touching or like about to kiss that created that Nexus event.
But was it him intervening? Because he was like, I watched everything you guys did on Lamentis. Like he said,
he's like, yo, go get them. We got to cop them out. You get what I'm saying? So I think it was like that Nexus event was they were about to die, and it wasn't, they weren't supposed to die there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was it connected?
Yeah.
Yeah. Girl. What is Miss Minutes?
You said what?
What is Miss Minutes? Who created Miss Minutes?
Obviously, Miss Minutes works for what is his name?
The one who returned. Some people are saying that he's Immortus or whatever.
He's not Immortus though.
He's just like
a future. He's a future peaceful variant of Nathaniel.
Is he? I don't know. Just like
we talked about Nathaniel when he was explaining. And sorry, let me give backstory. So Nathaniel Reeds, right?
Yeah.
So technically, we're gonna say Baby Daddy, aka He Who Remains, aka Nathaniel Reeds, is the 31st century scientist that he was talking about that basically discovered that there are multiple timelines that are stacked on top of each other. Mm-hmm. Now, in the comics, Nathaniel is actually a descendant of Reed Richards, who you know from the Fantastic Four. And for some reason, all roads lead back to the Fantastic Four in some way, shape, or form. So essentially, Nathaniel ended up discovering this technology that would allow him to time travel from Dr. Doom, Raggedy Behind. And so essentially, it goes into the story that he actually tells us as they come into there's different versions. So the person that we were looking at in the episode today, that is not King the Conqueror. Okay. Right. That is a version, a variant of Nathaniel. There's different variants and versions of Nathaniel in all of his little variant forms. King the Conqueror is one of the most well-known versions of him. If that makes sense. So potentially, you will see Jonathan Majors' character as villains in different. You could see him as villains in different Avengers films. Comes in contact with the Fantastic Four. Like, he comes in contact with a lot of different people in the comics. Okay, but there's different variants of that person that they come in contact with. So
right,
but so people are saying they're thinking it's Immortus,
but it could be both, right?
Huh?
Because the MCU love to combine 8 characters together.
They do.
So it could be that he's Nathaniel Richards, but he's also Immortus, and he's also, he's like 5 different characters.
I mean, Immortus is the more kooky one. Like,
right.
I can see, because he was kind of like kooky, but it just wasn't confirmed. So I'm not going to say it because they do mix up characters.
Agreed. I did put in my notes. I felt like I was watching Willy Wonka give the chocolate factory to Charlie when he was talking to the Lokis, and he was like, "Why don't you take it? You guys passed the test." Like, it was just so whimsical, and
he just like he was geeked to be there. Like, yo,
he was like, having a good time.
Like, yo, I'm on a Marvel show. I'm talking to Loki.
Yo, Jonathan Majors are the Black parents who are loud at the graduation. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you go to graduation, like, and it got the sign and everything. That was him.
No, the foghorn too. Like, the foghorn going. But can we talk about how I want to know who there had to have been? There was a Black stylist involved. And let me tell you why, okay? First and foremost, the hair, baby, the hair did it for me, okay? The twist that he had, I was like, twist me, twist me. But you want to know what I knew was blackity black. You want to know the moment I looked at him and I said a Black person styled him? Baby, he had on the cookout sandals.
He did the cookout ones. He did have the cookout ones. He did, which shows that he has wisdom and he's lived life, which is what the cookout ones represent. You're correct. I knew they had a Black stylist when 2 episodes went by and Ruby's fro was still moisturized.
Right? It had to look glistening. You know, you like in a certain type of light, you could see the soul glow all up in there.
I was just about to say the soul glow.
Okay, they put him in purple. Royalty.
You know, and I was glad he was in blue. I said, they kept him black? I thought they was going to paint him. I said, go ahead.
Well, there's a different version of him.
It do not matter.
He's not blue in all the versions.
That's true, but like, I didn't know they was gonna go full on black.
I mean, show me my baby. Then he said,
show me my baby.
Talk about his nose. Talk about your nose is beautiful, baby. You better tell him to put it in the dialogue, honey, because your nose is beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie, King the Conqueror got that black nose though. In the comic books, he's always, and I don't know if it's because they say he's Egyptian, he's white in the comics, but he got black features.
They were trying to tell y'all who he was. But that's the version of him that I want. I want the version that Apocalypse got rid of, because, you know, he naked basically. And the biceps, the triceps, the shoulders, the back muscles. That's the version that I want to see.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm
sure they're not going to give it to me, but, you know, it's okay. It's okay.
This is also the first time I've seen Jonathan Major play something like whimsical. Yeah. He's always like so brooding. Yeah.
The weight of the world on his shoulder. I mean, the weight of the world was still technically on his shoulders in this one, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. And so that was another question I had too. So if there's only one timeline, how are there variations of said time? It's one timeline.
No. Well, the sacred timeline was all of the different timelines looped into one. Like, they were on one accord. So that was because he was going and purging anyone that would basically cause some timelines to branch off.
Oh, so like it would be like, say there's 10 timelines, and all 10 timelines, they're all supposed to do the same exact thing.
I don't think they do the same exact thing, but I just think that they flow into one another to where he's taking care of any major events that are necessarily going to make the timeline have to branch off. Because the event of Sylvie killing him is what caused all of the time. No one's managing any of the timelines at these points.
Right. But that's still confusing to me. Like, how can a timeline vary so much that there's an alligator version of Loki? You get what I'm saying? Like, what happens in that
I mean,
timeline that
that's
he's
a
at?
timeline. I mean, there's different versions of all of our heroes depending on what timeline we go to. I mean, it's
Well,
still different.
I
That's how
thought
they
that would be a different universe, not a different time. You get what I'm saying? Like,
but to me, the universe, like when we say Earth 616, when we say Earth 616,
yeah,
like to me, that's a different timeline.
right.
Because it is something different happening in that universe, right?
Okay. I get what you're saying. I understand. And actually, Maria just checked me, and she right. I'm thinking too hard about this. I'm thinking too hard about this. You right, Maria. I'm a chill. Cause I just was like, just scratching my head. Like, I always thought timelines and universes were different. You get what I'm saying? So, like, in universe 616, Loki is a man, but in universe 617, Loki died and came back as Lady Loki. You get what I'm saying? But in the timeline of 616, such and such went back and branched it off by the Avengers went back and did something different, but it's still that same timeline with the same events. Now
Some
I'm
of
confusing
those
myself.
events change. I mean, remember, even when the different Lokis are sharing their stories, one of the Lokis actually killed Thor. You know, when Loki opens the drawer and he sees all of the different Infinity Stones, that
Right.
we've had some type of occurrence with the Infinity Stones in all of these different types of timelines. I think that's the thing. It has the
But Jax has a point. The Affinity Stones don't work in different universes, but they work in different timelines. So, like, which is why, like, the Avengers could take Affinity Stones from a different timeline and pull it up to their timeline. But if they hop to a different universe, those stones wouldn't work. That's why they just kept them in a drawer, because if you take them out their universe, the Infinity Stones are made for your universe, not your timeline. But I am overthinking it
I use universe and timeline as the same.
interchangeably.
Yeah.
And until they clear it up, let's do that.
I mean, it's just like there's different versions of X-Men. I mean, you got Wolverine and Storm together, and in another version you have Storm and
but in that they make, so in the comic books they make it a point to explain that those are different, like timelines and universes are different.
but I
So,
think for
like,
the MCU they don't.
but
I think
right.
they're interchangeable.
And I think that's what it is. I'm like, it gets so hard sometimes to like separate the two, because you see like similar stories, but you're right. Like, it ain't that. I need to stop. I need to get out my head in that. I'm like, have Days of Future Past in my head.
Yeah,
Um,
for me, I think that definitely Marvel can do a better job at explaining the different timelines and the different, the different universes or the different Earths, as we call it sometimes. But I don't know if that's the issue because the writers from the shows and the movies, they're not all talking. For me, I feel like they're going to probably talk about this more in the Doctor Strange movie, since specifically, like, that's his job. Okay.
And then Spider-Man, right? Because in Spider-Man, they could do it without the exposition being so clunky, right? Because Peter Parker don't know what's going on. So somebody got to explain to Peter what's going on. Because I'm certain now, and I'm really hoping, and they already said it, all the Spider-Mans are going to pull up. It's like a multiverse Spider-Man movie that's coming. So, like, I think in both of them, hopefully they'll clarify a little bit more.
We'll see.
Yeah, you're right.
I hope so. I just go in and let them give me what they want to give me. But I do want to talk about your girl, Miss Minutes, okay? So, because she had some predictions. You had predictions that Miss Minutes was the villain of this story.
She low key, she still was moving shady. She still was low key behind it, right? She knew what was up. So she was like the assistant, right?
So she's an assistant villain now.
She an assistant. What are they get sidekick? Yo, because let's be honest, as much as I love seeing Jonathan Majors, it was a out of left field reveal. There was no hints that there was you know what I'm saying? There was no foreshadowing of him.
How? You had Ravonna was the whole foreshadow. Just hearing her name.
No, for us. I'm talking about as a story. You get what I'm saying? As a story. If you're looking at it as a story, we know, right? Okay, Ravonna is associated with King the Conqueror. So maybe they expected all the influencers to like explain to everybody. But if I had my sister watch this series, she'd be like, who is this? Why is this? What is this? How is he here? What does he mean? You get what I'm saying? Because there was nothing about like I knew it was hinting towards King because I read the comic books. But if you didn't read the comic books, there were no foreshadowing for his character to come up. They didn't mention this being before. They didn't mention a savior. Miss Minute could have talked about in her 2-minute movie in the episode 1. What if she was like, yeah, there was one savior who helped us out, and then he joined the TVA or something.
Technically, he is a mixture of the TVA director, he who remains, right, and the version of Kang. So this is like what we were talking about, how Marvel mixes two different characters together. Because last time I checked, Kang had nothing to do with creating a TVA.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's not. I get what you're saying. I'm saying is the show itself. Pull out everything we know about the characters, right? If you never touch the comic books.
Oh, okay. Then no.
You gonna say if you as a show itself, if you never touch, which Marvel is supposed to be marketing towards, right? People who are novices. If I never watched this show, if I never read any comic book, and I don't spend time watching like us, I'd be sitting there confused, like, who is this man? Where did he come from? It's odd that he's here. You know what I mean? But for us, it made sense.
I think because so many people were hyping it up, though, before we even got to this episode. I mean...
I got my sister and my cousins watch, like, these series, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do not touch any of this. They don't even watch my stuff, and that's family. And they don't even watch my stuff because it doesn't... Like right, that does sound like family, right? So like it just doesn't interest them. So their social media doesn't have theories. Nothing is pulling up. They're watching the show off of the knowledge from what they've seen from the other MCU. He did give his
backstory. We typically don't get that. Like with Agatha, we didn't really get Agatha's backstory until after she was already revealed.
Yeah, and he was revealed. He gave his backstory when he revealed himself.
But like that was Agatha. One episode. Like we saw it was Agatha, and then we had to go another episode before we got who she was.
But that's what I want. Like plant seeds and then tell me over time. Like to me, it was like it's all pushed together into one. All right, well, guess what? We did this huge reveal. Who's this guy? Let me tell you. Let me do this.
I think that's why people watch recap shows. They watch people like us to tell them who they are. Everyone, I mean, as soon as they said who King the Conqueror was gonna be in the MCU, everyone has theorized this. I think it was kind of just they expected us to do the jobs for them.
That's what I'm saying. Don't do that. That's ghetto. Make your own story. You're making my point here. Don't rely on, because like I said, I want to say a minimum of a third of the people who are watching this series don't touch any of this stuff. As in, like, they don't read the comic books. They don't sit on YouTube watching us 5 times. They may not have a TikTok, right? So they just rolling up and they're like, what is this? This is rushed. But for us, I was like, yo, you know what I mean?
But I think also, too, that's what casting is, right? I think that's why they cast more well-known names to get people who don't read comics or who don't normally watch all of the movies. That's what gets them excited. Oh, Jonathan Majors, fine ass from the BK. I don't know who he is, right, but come on, give him to me. And he's going to be the next baddie of this next phase of MCU films. Ooh. I mean... personally for me, I like how they introduced him because it throws you off guard that essentially you get the future version of him, Immortus, he who remains, whatever y'all want to call him, okay? But you get this, like, you're not afraid of him. Like, you just like, this man is all Chris Rocker. He's crazy. Like, ain't nobody tripping off of him. Like, you got bad variants. Like, come on, son. But I think that's what makes him a more formidable villain, because they introduced him like he wasn't Ish. And then once you actually get to meet these other variants of him, then you're like, oh, like, okay, like this is about to be a problem right here. Right. I like how they introduced that. And then it gets you excited because you're like, not only am I just getting him, I'm getting multiple variants of him. So now I figure out, I mean, that sets it up like, okay, you establish one and he bad, you know, they could be even worse as each movie or TV series goes on. So that for me, that gets me excited, because now you have different versions that you don't know what they're actually capable of.
I do have to say this. I thought the story that he told was an incredible one, and one that was very interesting to me, because that does make sense. Like, it's the Rick and Morty paradox, right? There's a council of the smartest scientists in the world who break the space-time continuum. And yeah, they're going to first be excited to see each other, but then after a while, there's going to be competitiveness that inherently is in anyone who's that successful at what they do. And then in this case, it's detrimental to the fabric of the like timeline. So like you said, he seemed so whimsical when he was talking, but he was basically like, if we don't keep this up, see, you know, timelines are going to be fighting. You think Thanos is bad? This is going to be way worse. Da, 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 da. And I think it was a great way to say the stuff we saw phase 1 through 3, that was cookies. Okay. Now we getting into multiverses. We getting Nexus level villains. And I think it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be a great ride. And I think he's going to be an amazing character. And he's going to be in a lot of stuff, I feel like.
But also, too, keep in mind the possibility. If we're going to different timelines, then also, too, that means that previous characters who died in the current timeline that we were on for Endgame, they can come back, too. I'm not saying that they will. But when you're opening up a multiverse like that, it doesn't matter who's dead, because all it matters is what timeline you're actually on. And if everyone's leaving from the main timeline where everyone got zapped and going back to different timelines, you'll see different versions of them. So that could also mean they have different versions of the Avengers. They can have different actors portraying them. You just never know what that's actually going to be.
Yeah, I think that's the most fun we're gonna have. And it's also a great way for them to finally bring in the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, just the Eternals even, because I was always thinking, like, how are they gonna explain the Eternals not checking their man Thanos? You know what I mean? But now there's so many possibilities, and it's just such a great way to open up all of the stories. I did really like just that aspect, and the visual of the timeline. Like, it looked like to me like blood, like veins, you know what I mean? Like they were capillaries,
like lungs, like the what do you call it? I should know, I got asthma. What do you call them? Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say.
Vocabulary, yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. They know what I'm talking about. It looked like that, and I was like, "That's what I'm talking about." How they breathe a new life into this phase, and I'm here for it. I was here for it, and I'm really excited. I do have to say that I'm really excited to see where it's gonna go.
I think this is one of the first episodes that actually made me excited for what Phase 4 has in store for us. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I still want to see all of these movies and TV shows that are coming out, but this made me excited to be like, wow, like, we're going to get all these different versions of different people. Like, what does that really mean? I do think we have to wait till we get to No Way Home or I'm tired, or Multiverse of Madness to really understand the implications for what we saw in today's episode.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm excited. And I like that they didn't come in with a big baddie. I mean, even with them showing Thanos, like, we got glimpses of Thanos over, you know, the course of multiple, you know, Marvel films. Yeah. But we really didn't know what he was capable of. Like, was he really like a big baddie to us until he he just snapped?
They were just saying his name. They were just saying you're right. They were saying his name this whole time. And we didn't see him actually boogie until what was it, Ragnarok? Somebody's flooding your thing.
I know, they're disgusting.
Yeah. Until Ragnarok. That you're right. So, and I like that. I do agree with you there. I like that Jonathan Majors is actually going to grow into like variations of himself, and he could potentially be the next big bad for this phase. You know what I mean? I will say this. Doctor Strange about to be tired. He about to be tired, okay?
You know, if he would have been on top of his job, then he would have been fine.
Yes, between
for the whole 3 seasons of TV.
There's so much. I said, yo, between whatever's going on in Spider-Man and Wanda and now Loki, they're gonna be like, Dr. Strange, he in Chelsea going to Pier 17 drinking drinks. Okay. I cannot believe what the you see how Black people can't just live their lives.
Can't live our lives.
Growth. But yeah, poor Doctor Strange.
No, I was trying to see if I can't make people MODs right now.
What's that?
It's okay.
Wow, we can't even live. We can't even live. That's actually a variant of yourself. Wow. So someone said, "Where Mephisto though?" Yeah, I will say this.
And Mephisto said he on vacation.
Mephisto ain't never coming, y'all. Ever. They never coming. Okay, I can prove him. He's never coming. He's not marketable. They may do Nightmare and he has like powers that Mephisto has, but y'all can give up on that, okay? So we that. So how did you feel about not seeing Mobius on the jet ski?
Well, I want to talk about Mobius for a moment because I was like, baby, what did you think you was gonna do when you saw Ravonna?
Oh, I was crying.
I was like, bro, what are you doing? What did you think you was gonna do?
Crying. I was crying. I was dying because he gave me. I said, "Oh, Mobius about to get busy," and then I remember I ain't never seen him throw hands.
Ass beat. That's what I said. Okay, I said, "Baby, what are you doing? Don't do this."
And she even looked at him like,
"Don't do this." He showed. I was like, "You're a lover. You're not a fighter."
I want to know how did he free B-15 if he don't got hands? Mm-hmm. Because they knew that he got pruned, number one. Number two, they knew he was going against Ravonna, so their orders were probably to prune him on site. And now I know he don't got hands.
Was dead though. I mean, nobody was. Ain't nobody worried about Morbius.
Yeah, ain't nobody worried about you, Mobius.
Ain't nobody come to see you, Mobius. Shoot.
But she was under guard. Like she was in a cell. You get what I'm saying? So even if he snuck around,
we're not supposed to think all of that.
You're right. We're not supposed to. I did like that she was like a teacher, a Karen teacher, because that would make sense on like how that translated to her being the judge.
Hey, but low-key though, Ravonna seemed like she had more feelings for Mobius than she did for whoever he not Kane, but whoever
not Kane. She don't even know him.
She technically hasn't met him.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So she can't be in love with him yet, but she knows that there was an outside source, right? But that's why she was like grasping. And that's what I was saying last
week. Like, it has to be for, she's like, I pruned you because it had to be for something. She's scared. She was like, I looked out for you. I was like, okay, girl. Okay.
But imagine how many people she's essentially sent to their death. And she's learning that it was for like the whim of someone else. Like I'd be spiraling as well. So like, yo, these actors were incredible. Everybody.
Look, she scared me on that thing. I mean, where do you think Renslayer is going though? She said, "I'm going to find free will."
I think anywhere now. I think Miss Minutes gave her the deets, like gave her a mission, right? Because she said this isn't what I asked for,
right?
Mm-hmm. And that's why also I knew she didn't meet Immortus, whoever, the one who's left behind, whatever. Because if she did, she would have came to see her baby daddy. Ain't nobody leaving Jonathan Majors alone. You hear me? So
this. I think this is a great question. And I think that we learned a very valuable lesson in today's episode because when he screamed at Sylvie, he was like, grow up, Sylvie. I was like, but for real though, I was like, Sylvie, at the end of the day, like, you are upset, rightfully so, right? But you've seen all these other people get pruned, been gone longer than who knows what, living in the void. So like, this is like when people Sylvia's selfish, which is funny because they always say that Loki. Selfish, right. And that Sylvie's issue is that she doesn't trust anybody. But right. The fact that he sat here and broke it down for you, right? Like he broke it down for you what the consequences were going to be. And at the end of the day, you felt like your own personal beef was more important than the billions of people in the universes that you were going to affect with this decision. And when she fell back afterwards, I was like, I thought of that Gabrielle Union. Did you get the job? Did you get the person that you wanted? Did you get the house that you wanted? Do you feel better now? Do you? That's what I wanted to say.
Even Loki was like, chill. And he was offering Loki everything that Loki ever wanted. And he was like, Sylvie, we need to chill here. Yeah, so this was my big issue. I thought the first 2 episodes played up this bromance. Like the main relationship in this show was going to be about Mobius and Loki and how they were going to help each other grow and get to the bottom of answers, blah, 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 blah. And then after episode 3, it shifted to this weird one-sided relationship with Loki and Sylvie. And I thought that kiss I cringed at that nasty kiss. Okay.
That's nasty. Okay.
It was nasty. Like they was kissing. And also because to me, it felt predatory because Sylvie doesn't know. She's never been in relationships with people. She doesn't know that nuance. Like she made a joke about the mailman, but I think that was more of an Easter egg. She'd been on the run since she was a child. How could she have fostered relationships and understand and create relationship? And it just seems so forced to me.
Well, it felt like she was trying to distract him though, because she knew the feelings that he had for her, but wasn't necessarily trying to act on them. But I think the bigger issue is I don't like when they feel like they have to bring a woman in as a love interest. Like I really hate love interests in comic book films, unless y'all both have powers and y'all both can be fighting if someone gets kidnapped or whatnot. But I just don't like using women or men as love interest plot devices as to, I stole the love of their lives, so now they have to come and avenge them, and there's going to be a fight to the death. Like, I really don't like that. I just think it's unnecessary. Right. And I feel as though that it cheapens everything that they discussed about, him being pansexual or being fluid. I feel like it undermines what we saw in that conversation on the train for them to then end up, I mean, we've been seeing them do it the whole time. That's why for me, I was just like, I didn't get excited when they did that. Everyone was so excited, like, oh my goodness, he's bisexual, like all this. I'm like, but we only see him with female love interest still.
That's what I'm saying.
Use those characters in that way.
And not just that, but like, why do so much time character building if they're gonna 180? I felt like I was watching Game of Thrones again. Everything that they were building, the trust and everything between Loki and Sylvie, in a whim, gone. All of a sudden, she's not this methodical woman who wants to make sure she has everything in the right places. She's just doing things on a whim.
I think Steve and Sharon is still worse because at least Sylvie was doing it to distract Loki so she can go kill Immortus or whatever y'all want to call him today. Sharon and Steve was just disgusting. It was
that's because she kissed your man.
Wanted to smash her grandma. Like, is that her grandma or her mama? Who was that to her? Sharon.
It was her like great aunt.
You trying to smash the homie. You kissing the homie, okay? Like, it was just gross. And it was like, Bucky's right here. We know you love him. Like,
I don't know, man. I got a Titi Muncie. If I dated a guy who's like, I kissed her 50 years ago, but he looked like me still, I'd be like, yo, she was hot. She's hot back then.
It was gross. It came out of nowhere, and it was once again, why can't we just have Sharon who be like fighting the people with y'all? And that's it. Everybody ain't gotta be a love interest, especially if y'all not gonna give us no sex scenes anyway.
Why? Hello. If I'm not seeing no buns, this is irrelevant. And I agree. I feel like they feel like every female protagonist needs to be in love with someone. And just here, it just felt weird. Sylvie's 1,000 years older than Loki. That's older than Steven's. No, it's not the age difference I was saying. I was saying the experience difference. Like Sylvie is never, they made it clear to say that we all know him. You call him Steve is weird. But yeah, everybody knows why that Sylvie hasn't created any relationship. So that's what I thought was inappropriate. And also out of left field because this did nothing for the story. In the end, she didn't choose trust. She didn't choose love. She didn't choose any of that. She just impulsively threw him into some random timeline and then shanked old boy immediately. So I'm like, if you want to poke him, just do that.
She stabbed him too. She was just like,
I couldn't believe she poked him. I said, oh my God.
It was like, and I was like, baby, did you get stabbed? Did she get you?
Damn. He ain't know. Especially since he was feeling himself. He was like, whoa, you get. And I was like, dang, he got immediately. And that's the thing. Like, we're not going to see that version of him anymore. And that makes me sad because I did like how fun he was. He was like, whoa, you thought that, you know what I'm saying?
Could still tell the Avengers, like, hey, we saw him and he's from this timeline and they can go speak to him to ask him questions.
Are they going to trust him? I think that would be an interesting dynamic to see as well. Like Loki pulling up now that these are all different type of timelines. And some timelines, their Loki would have never gotten redemption. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'd be interesting to see, like picking and choosing. And I hope that they make it now into this, like Loki's working with Mobius to try to figure out, like try to clean things up. I really hope that's where the second season goes. What's up, man?
Yeah, I just think that, I don't know. It's funny that I find that people have so many issues with this episode. They didn't have this many issues with previous episodes.
I did. So,
I mean, I just think as a finale, if we're just keeping it into the scope of Loki season 1, yeah, it's not that great. But I think at this point, I've just accepted that the Marvel shows are to just introduce new characters that they don't have time to introduce in movies. So right. They can kind of like speed this process along. So for me, I just felt like it's fine.
Okay.
I don't know.
Pure simping.
I'm pure simping. President Loki.
I do have to say, of the 3 shows, it was the best finale. I don't think it was the best show. I think I'm going to rate WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then Loki. But of the finales, I definitely put Loki on the top.
You put Loki on the top?
Yeah, for finales. Because when I watched WandaVision finale, I was sick. I was sick about watching this Black woman protect these white babies who weren't even real and getting shot. I was sick about this cartoon white man who was actually right, but we couldn't hear his thing because they painted him to be this like villain for no reason. I hated that she was like a full-on villain and was like, what y'all gonna do? And dipped and then got the catharsis that she needed. There were just a lot of things that felt unfair. I hated what they did with Ralph Boner. I
gotta fight though, at least. We gotta fight. In the new costume reveal, I mean, we got...
You talk about who?
I'm talking about WandaVision. What did you get? What did you get in Loki?
What you talking about? They just opened up 80 multiverse, and I got Jonathan Majors giggling.
Right. Okay? I was saying in the episode though, if I'm comparing WandaVision, do I like what they did? No, but at the end of the day, you had a whole fight. You had magic. You had magic. You had her become the Scarlet Witch. Right. Like, I mean, you still had Monica like actually doing. I mean, she wasn't.
She ain't do nothing but protect white babies in that episode.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, if I look at when I think finale, I think this is the third act of the Marvel movie where everyone is going to be fighting. It's going to be crazy stuff getting blown up. I mean, we really just had like a back and forth conversation, and they've been fighting with the same baby swords like they have been with the whole season. So I mean,
that was a good fight scene. I did like that fight scene.
So, but if we're ranking like finales,
right?
I mean, even they were fighting.
Yeah, but he gave that PBS special.
Yeah, the speech at the end. But I'm just saying, take it out.
Right.
If he didn't have a shirt on, then hell yeah, it's the best finale ever. But I'm just playing devil's advocate, okay?
She's
devil's advocate. Like I told y'all from the beginning, I am biased on this episode because Jonathan Majors is in the episode.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if we don't have Jonathan Majors in the episode, if you don't have this reveal of, now that they're introducing Kang the Conqueror or a variant of him, if you did not have that, do you like this series?
Right.
Which I still said that for a show about Loki, it ain't about Loki.
It ain't about Loki. Now, I do have to say that WandaVision was clearly about Wanda. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was clearly about the repercussions of that decision that Captain America made. Loki was really thrown around. Yo, and somebody tried to check me on Hayward. Let me tell you something. They're saying tell Frankie that Hayward was wrong and he's a villain. Look, at the end of the day, Vision was a weapon, right? To them, right? He was a robot and a weapon. Hayward just lived through the worst 5 years of his life. His homegirl pulls up. He gives her job back. And then she gets taken immediately, comes back with Stockholm Syndrome from this woman who took a town of 3,600 people and put them in agony for weeks right after the snap. Then when he tries to talk to her, she turns all of the guns on him, okay, and expands her thing and takes them and puts more people in agony and imprisons them, okay? I'd kill her too. I'd be like, yo, this chick is a threat. She is not listening to reason. How long before she takes over the world and makes it all? And then what our name gonna be? Geraldine, and then my name. What's the old black name? Eunice. I mean, Francis is pretty old, but you get what I'm saying? Like, you gonna be tight, y'all. The reason why we don't like Hayward is because he was like the stereotypical military man going against a quirky white girl, an Asian man, and a black woman. So inherently, we don't like him. But he was making some valid points, y'all. Valid
points, but he also manipulated her and turned her into a terrorist halfway.
Who?
When Hayward had her come up to S.H.I.E.L.D., when she figured out like what they were doing with his body.
Oh, he was trying to show her like she ain't real. Your boy ain't real. He said, this our property, but I'm going to show you. He did lie, but it was also like confidential. I'm not saying he's not manipulative. I'm not saying he's not a liar. But like in the same way that like Tony Stark has done some dark things, I think that he's a little bit easier. And I think he's not as bad as like Cliff killing colored people for 5 years. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think ain't none of them ish, but I'm gonna answer. Wanda has the better finale costume because she actually has power. Sam ain't got nothing but a suit.
Hands down, she got the best one.
Like Avenger, if you go, it's Red Wing, not Falcon, but it's okay. What else did I see?
Sorry, I dropped my Skittles.
Oh, I'm sleepy.
Tony is trash too. Yeah, I hands down, I think Wanda had one of the best costumes. And they said Elizabeth Olsen helped design it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's why it's so fire. And now everybody got that same costume. I saw it on The Flash. Killer Frost got that same fit in blue. I saw it on something else. I said, oh, now everybody got the pendulum with the pants. All right, we know who did it first.
Right.
Spiegel clip. Oh, I cannot, y'all. Nah, it's a spoiler. It's a spoiler for Black Widow, but yeah, Hawkeye's a murderer, and he's MAGA. Agreed.
I'm so done.
Agreed. Why wasn't he in Czechoslovakia killing the Russian mob or something like that? He went to Mexico and Japan. Okay.
He had already helped her kill all the people in Russia.
I just was not feeling him killing my Japanese poppy. I forgot his name. Scorpion.
I mean, so how do you feel about a season 2 of Loki? What does it look like to you?
I hope it's Loki working with Mobius to like clean up a bunch of messes. That's all I want to see. That's what I wanted this season.
They know who he is now.
Yeah, but they think he works for the TVA.
I have to say, I really appreciated Loki's costume. I love this like detective look. It's so dope.
Wasn't it cute?
Yeah, I was like, and then I didn't notice how much he does the hair flip. I didn't realize how much he did it until this episode.
Oh, I love his hair flip. He be putting extra.
He be doing something.
My hair curly. I can't.
He does it so quick. Like
I know. Every time. I love it. I love it. No, I think it'll be great. Because I love that little detail because he's wearing a TVA uniform. They put him in a uniform. He don't got that windbreaker no more. So like it would make sense that they're like obviously
it was the jacket that was messing it up. It was the jacket.
And I love that it's a detective uniform, but there's subtle details that make it look futuristic. So like it's a button-up skirt, but it has that like detail here and stuff. That's a sword holster, not a gun holster, which is hilarious. The leather straps. He created it after old boy gave him a thing.
Y'all really gonna say it's the worst MCU? Just say you hate women.
If you hate women, just say that. Just say that. If you're a real comic book fan, I haven't gotten buns in 10 years.
I'm sorry I wasn't born with a penis, but like that screams I hate women. Because y'all go sit here and tell me, first of all, if y'all tell me anything, the worst MCU movie when Iron Man 3 exists, when Doctor Strange exists, because I still don't know why y'all gassed.
Thor 1, I could not tell you what happened in Thor 1.
Thor 2, though.
Thor 2. Like, come on, y'all.
Dark World.
Y'all, don't get me tight. Do not get me tight. You telling me that Budapest scene, when she picked up the knife, and everybody was like, y'all. Do not get me tight on this line. I was reviewing Black Widow with 3 men on Monday, and there was about 5 times I was like, ooh, do not, because it's like, you know, if you reviewed, nothing like terrible, but it's like you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, men are not gonna interpret things in the way that women will.
Trash.
Are we talking about this? Yo,
trash.
I hate it. Okay, so spoilers for people who haven't seen Black Widow. We here.
Log off.
We here. Although it's instantly, you could buy it at home, whatever. This is my issue with the whole brainwashing thing dynamic they did. I wish it was like psychological brainwashing, closer to like what they did with the Winter Soldier, instead of them having some magic dust that made you woke. You get what I'm saying? Because then Taskmaster had motivation. They tried to clip her. At 8 and her face is destroyed. So like, I would have preferred that like she just was like, nah, I've been trying to kill you. It's on site. I don't care what you gotta say. I've been learning on my own.
Well, where they went wrong with Taskmaster is just because you turn her into a woman doesn't mean that she could have kept her origin story. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Give me New York Taskmaster. Like, you could literally, you're not a computer simulation. Like, that's why I hate it. Like, why is it a computer simulation? That is not Taskmaster.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they made everything this like out of control thing, right? And I don't like that. And it's because men wrote it for the most part. The screenplay and everything was written by men. Like, so they made.
I thought Jack. Oh, It's Jay Schaefer? Is it Jack? It's Jack
She
Schaefer.
directed it.
Kate Shortland directed it, but Jack, who is Jack, I think it's Jack Schaefer, who wrote
the screenplay.
Jack came up with the story for Black Widow, and he's also the person who wrote WandaVision.
The main screenwriter was a man. I googled it.
Yeah, but she's responsible for the overall story of what's supposed to happen. But I don't know who did what after.
Right. It's clearly a man was like, "Whoa, so what? They're just subscribing to the patriarchy? No. They got to be brainwashed."
Yeah, like when she was walking, they had the shot on her ass. I was like, who let this happen?
Oh boy. I just
be giving that for the men's when they be walking. I don't want to see it then.
Yeah, you trying to say I don't want to see Chris Hemsworth's ass every time any chance I get? Of course I do. But y'all don't want to demean him like that. Like, I don't know, but I agree. So it was the brainwashing for me that I didn't like. And it was that Taskmaster didn't learn on her own. She could have still been a woman. Also, finally, why did they cast, I was saying The Rock, the biggest man they could find to be the body double for Taskmaster? There are plenty of swole women who could have been her. You know, like Ronda Rousey was busy. Like there's so many women that could have been the stunt double instead of like when she took her helmet off. I said, why they got this little bitty head on this big old body? It just looked odd to me.
For me, it's like getting back to the point. I need Marvel to have good mini villains, right?
Right.
And that's what they missed. Like Loki was actually Loki is actually their best mini villain. Because when we saw him with the whole fight in New York, like he was actually a good mini villain. We haven't had any good mini villains since Loki. Like, is there anyone else who has just been like, okay, I can respect you? Like, I don't feel like I've had that.
Also, I got a request here. What was the noises that Taskmaster made when she walked?
She made a noise?
Like, it was weird. It was weird.
I look like I told you, I was like, y'all gonna be mad about Taskmaster. Like
that, but taking that apart, like taking Taskmaster out, that movie cooked. I thought it was great. I was entertained the whole time.
Oh, I guess we can't really. But when she got jumped by the other widows, I was actually very shocked that there was a lot of Black widows. I was like, this is probably the one movie that could be white, and I can't really say nothing about it.
I know. I don't know how I felt about all those Black widows because I was like, why are the Black people in here slaves? Like, I don't know how I felt about that. Also, I thought that when I saw Samuel Ryder and stuff was cast in it, because she did this huge social media campaign on it, I thought that I was hoping there'd be a scene where like her and her like pseudo family did this like incredible style pose and just started just fighting, washing up a bunch of widows, and then they were like, why are we fighting? And then stopped or whatever. So I did wish that like we saw Red Guardian fight more, and I wish that fight scene with the widows was like longer.
Cause she was getting smoked.
I mean, it was like 30 widows fresh out the gym. Old girl was standing there with a broken nose. So like I knew she was gonna get smoked, and that makes sense because they're trained to kill and they fresh out they warm, they loose, they ready to pop. You know what I'm saying? But she was not. She was just sitting there talking for an hour after sitting for another hour and like just broke her nose. So it would make sense that she get popped that quickly. Maro said, y'all ain't gonna say we ain't had diversity.
Hela was a great villain. You are right. You are. Hela was a pretty fantastic villain. That
they have a couple
given her full potential though.
Agree. I think Hela should have been a villain the way that Loki was. That was kind of drawn out, and we like see it pop up and come out. And I was hoping, honestly, we'd see Hela in this version in Loki. I thought she was going to be the one who was with Sylvie for a while or something like that. Of course, Killmonger is a great villain. Like they have okay villains.
Killmonger ain't no great villain. Stop it.
I thought he was good. I will say this. I call things.
Killmonger has some good lines, but as far as did you ever feel like, well, I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. I call it the Killmonger effect, actually. And that's where they make a villain do something so ridiculous to remind you that.
He killed a girl in the beginning. I was just like, for what?
And I don't like when they cast women just so they can be a stepping stool for a man's character development. You get what I'm saying? So like, I didn't like that. And I still say they did the same thing with Carly. And I mean, I'd say the same thing with
Carly got a little bit, she didn't get good treatment, but I felt like it should have been that conflicting, like with Killmonger, because what Killmonger was saying, Killmonger wasn't lying. Like what he was saying made perfect sense. But they just had him just doing this crazy stuff. And it was like, but y'all, like, have it be conflicting because you actually believe in Killmonger's message.
Right.
And you still want to root for Black Panther, but I just feel like they went far.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's like Marvel thinking that we're not smart enough to understand the nuance there. That like he is correct. Okay. And yes, he's in here infiltrating your spot, burning down your resources, but he's doing it for the greater good. Not he's killing innocent people and stuff like that, kind of took it away. In the same way that like Carly was also correct, right? She was like, these Bortles are killing us, they're refugees, blah, blah, blah. But then she blows up a full building and she ready to risk it all. And I'm like,
but I also think with her, because she's young, she was just kind of like, we got to get your attention. Like, you guys don't care until it actually affects you. And
but then blow up an empty building. They were like, there are people in there. She was like, word.
But that's why at the end, she was finna kill the actual, diplomats. Something that wouldn't matter. I mean.
But that would have felt different, that her killing innocents.
I just want them to have fleshed out villains. I want to feel conflicted with a villain. I want to feel like I felt in Training Day, where I knew that Denzel had to die, but he was so entertaining that I didn't want him to die.
Agreed. Also, I thought Thanos was a good villain.
But Thanos was another villain. Thanos is a more realized version of Killmonger, because what Thanos was saying, Thanos didn't lie. If anything, because of what Thanos did, like, and when they brought people back, that's when people like Carly got radicalized. Because at the end of the day, there weren't enough resources. Thanos didn't lie. Like, what he did was definitely like, it's bad, but he was just like, do you want everyone to live and just live in a world where some people get nothing and other people get everything? Or do you want to live in a world where there's enough for everyone, where no one suffers, where there's enough resources for the entire world? Like, at the end of the day, Thanos was actually on the right side. It was just
he was. But why not just double the resources? But maybe that wouldn't change human nature. But either way, you're correct, because for people like Carly who grew up in the snap, right? So she may have lost people, but she was a child and she couldn't conceptualize and maybe didn't build those relationships in the same way. So for her, she was like, there was no poverty. All of the borders were open and stuff. All he had to do was stop reproduction. But then what happens? Then everybody stops. Yeah, everybody just dies. And he even says it. He's like, Gamora, your hometown not popping now? They not thriving with half? Because, I mean, he was doing it the dirty way. He was rolling up to planets and just killing half the people. But this way they died, I guess, in his mind, peacefully. But you're right. The minute he finished, he did. He started gardening. He was like, I did what I had to do.
They absolutely right about this.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that a meme that was like, this is giving me the same energy. And I was like,
it is. It was very selfish. It was just like, Sylvie, now I knew it was something I didn't like about you. And here it is.
It is right here.
Was it worth it?
It wasn't. Well, we don't see what's going to happen to her. How's she going to get off that? Oh, she has a temp pad.
I mean, Loki going to fight her when he see her on site. It's going to be on site.
He love that girl. He love that girl.
I just love that girl. It was a sibling type of love. Like, I would rather have that. Just have someone that you see that actually believes in you. Even though Thor low-key believes in Loki, though. Loki just keep doing F shit.
You gotta hear. You gotta love yourself, boo. That's what they say. You gotta love yourself. I will say, I'm hoping that this turned him off to it. And from now on, I want them to focus on the relationship between him and Mobius. And I want Mobius to finally get on the jet ski because I was like, I could have seen one scene of him doing that, huh?
No, you're right. I said I just want him to have his jet ski.
That's what I'm saying. So, so what would you rate first? What would you rate this episode, and then what would you rate this series? If you had to grade it.
If I'm biasly grading it, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Actually, I'm only giving it a 4 out of 5 because I didn't see him shirtless. If I'm rating it as far as like an episode by itself, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. If I'm rating it as a finale, then I will give it a 2 out of 5. And that's mainly because it's a finale, supposed to be these big things. I mean, I think it's just overall for me, I never felt like Loki is about Loki. And I do like that we get to see at the end of this episode that we see Loki understand, like, at the end of the day, it's not about us, it's about everybody and how our decisions affects everybody. And seeing him take more of a leadership type of role, or more of a, he's just trying to be good. He's trying to see the bigger picture. And I think that was his problem, because when you're selfish, you can only see what's in your tunnel vision. You don't see the bigger picture as a whole. So yeah, I mean, I still love Tom Hiddleston. I think they have some fantastic actors for this season.
Absolutely.
I want to see. It almost makes me feel like I wish they would have just never did anything with the Marvel shows until after the pandemic was over, because I don't know if this is what it was supposed to be, or did this get messed up because of COVID and they had to go different directions. I don't know, but
they just finished filming though.
They did, but then there was a rumor that Loki was supposed to be 12 episodes and they stopped. This was like the mid-season, and it was supposed to be 6 more. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Oh, that would make sense why they made it the season. But then it would still be that we're watching episode. Oh, yeah. Like if this was meant to be 12 episodes and season 2 is the final 6, I think we'd like it a lot more. You get what I'm saying?
I would still say they could condense it. I think a lot of these episodes could be 30-minute episodes.
Agreed. I'm like, it's too much talking.
This could have been 30 minutes.
Absolutely. I would give this episode as a finale, I would agree, give it a 2. As a mid-credit scenes, as I was calling it before, I give it a 4, just from the world building and everything it was able to achieve in that. In terms of the season, I give it like a 3. Like I enjoyed it. I was watching it, but like every time I watched an episode, finished an episode, it just felt unfinished. Like there was things missing. But I agree. And this is across all of the shows, Marvel shows. One thing they're going to do, they're going to hire actors who can act. There's not one time I was watching them and I was like, yuck. I thought the whole series character development of Loki was interesting. The character development of Loki, I guess, paid off, but they also spent just as much time developing Sylvie, and Sylvie development got thrown out the window.
But here's my thing though. Did we not see the same development when he decided to sacrifice himself for his brother? Did we not get this in Endgame?
Twice.
Did we get this in Ragnarok? Was Hell on Ragnarok? Yeah. So like, did we not? I thought we had already gotten this from Loki at the end of the day. I mean, I think he went on his like midlife crisis after he figured out who his real family was and how all of that played out. But I think at the end of the day, we got this development of him understanding that it's not just about what he wants. When he sacrificed himself for his brother, and when, he helped them with Hela, like, I just felt like this is something we already did. I mean, I think at the end of the day, yeah, I saw the progression of the character development for him. But for me, it just seems like in the season, he had more time to breathe, to really think about everything that has actually happened. Because you got coming after Endgame. You didn't have time to decompress or nothing. You did. So
Yeah, I do feel like this is character beats that we've already seen, and I would have preferred more something else. And I think also that's why I like Black Widow, because they positioned it in a way that it was an origin story for Yelena, and they weren't like hiding that, because honestly, we didn't need an origin story for Natasha by this time. We've known her for 10 years. We've seen all that development. We've heard her talk about it, and she dead. So what she does do not matter. And I wish Loki had that wherewithal to be like, well, we're gonna focus on this character instead, or show a different trajectory and not like repeat the same beats.
Was that me that gave the finale too? Instead of
she said, how you rate this finale at 2 and say it was better than the WandaVision finale? You did say it was better.
You said it was better.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, because I didn't like the WandaVision finale. I didn't like the finale. I did. Yeah. And I rated it a 2 as in like if it's a story, if we're looking at it as a series with no comic book knowledge, it's a 2. But like if it's a mid-credit scene where we're looking at it to propel the Marvel universe, then it's a 4. With WandaVision, that was also supposed to propel the Marvel universe, and I just was like, meh. I did like woke Vision talking to white Vision, like, wake up, my brother. We used to be colored. We used to be kings, yo. They used to fear us. We had all the knowledge in the world.
Wait, you said Loki went from murderers wannabe dictator to simp in the first episode? I think that happened before, though. I think that was happening in Ragnarok. I think that was happening in Endgame when he sacrificed himself.
But that wasn't him.
What you mean that wasn't him?
That wasn't this Loki. That's what she's saying.
No.
So the Loki that we're seeing in this show didn't go through Ragnarok, didn't go to anything. They picked him up from New York. So he had just tried to clap everybody in New York.
Right.
And then she's right. He watched the video, but he watched the video of his life and saw how he died.
But he still had those memories, though. So explain that to me.
He didn't have any memories. He knew about it. He knew about it because he watched it.
The way my man looked at those Infinity Stones, man, he looked like he just got told that like Santa Claus wasn't real.
Because he did all that stuff in New York to collect the Infinity Stones. He was working for Thanos.
Okay, so now we had to go through 2 different types of Loki character development. Well, that's just stupid now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was redoing the same character beat where we find out Loki has a heart, Loki's capable of love, but instead of it being his brother and family doing it for him, it was himself telling him about himself. I'm sorry. Somebody said, Vision said he was a hotep saying they tried to erase you, but it ain't that easy. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
The MCU isn't reset back to 2012. That was just for Loki.
Yeah.
2012 Loki. What did I think of the Emmy noms?
I thought Elizabeth. I thought WandaVision, even though it was shaky at the end, y'all, there were some great performances.
I truly believe that Katherine Hahn, Paul Bettany, and Elizabeth Olsen should have been nominated for acting. I think that's fair.
Yes, absolutely. They all. And Elizabeth Olsen did like 5 different homages to like different actresses. Yes.
Like, because they played different genres of shows. Like, that's a lot of work. You're not even playing the same character.
Perfectly. And so did, first of all, what's her name? Catherine what? Han. She had us all bopping to Agatha all along, y'all. And the costumes were fire. The character design was fire. Like, there was issues with the story, but everything else revolving around that I thought was fire. The Don Cheadle one, I was like, even he was like,
some people were saying that they felt like Don Cheadle got nominated because
he's black.
People look alike and they thought he was somebody else.
Maybe
unless they thought he was, but
or they're so used to giving it to Don Cheadle because he's their like go-to black for a nom is him or Idris, and Idris ain't do nothing. So they're like, oh, Don Cheadle did something. Let's go ahead and give him something. But either way, even he was like, I don't get it, but thanks. Because like he literally said 3 lines and it wasn't like
it was 98
impactful.
seconds. It was 98 seconds.
Insane. I think they were like, yeah, I don't want them to say Emmy's so white. So, but they nominated most of Lovecraft Country, so I don't know why they would feel that need.
They're not gonna win, but
someone said they thought he was Carl Lumbly, Isaiah Bradley.
Now Carl should have been nominated, most definitely.
Maybe they did. Maybe they're like Don Cheadle was Isaiah Bradley. Like we gotta get him. Dang, that could have happened. They've been calling America Ferrera Gina Rodriguez forever, so I could definitely see that.
I don't think. Okay, so I secretly have Elizabeth Olsen winning, but I mean, right now it's between Jean Smart for Hacks and for Kate Winslet for Mare of Easttown.
Is Mare of Easttown good? What is that about?
It is. It's messy white people drama. It's so great.
Oh, I like some messy.
It's like small town, so it ain't rich people. So like it's more like, oh, okay, I can see some mess like that actually happening. Like it's just a little bit more relatable.
Okay. I just watched The Hunt on HBO. I actually really enjoyed it.
I haven't seen
that. Yeah, it's kind of cute. It's like The Most Dangerous Game, but it has some comedy to it.
What you talking about when they're killing people?
Yeah. So it's gory. It's a movies, but it's like The Most Dangerous Game. A group of people. Yes, I love her with her big old boobies. I love her in Glow.
I like The Hunt, but I still have issues with The Hunt. I can't remember because that was like one of the last movies I saw like during the pandemic. But yeah,
it came out during the pandemic. I thought it just came out.
It was like before. No, it's not new. It came out a long time ago.
Oh dang! It was highlighted on my HBO, so I was like, "Oh, lit, let's watch it."
Yeah,
Messy White Town.
You know, people were going in about the Oscar nods, and the Emmy nods. I was like, y'all, it was a really great year for TV. I mean, it was a lot of TV shows. So like the fact that we got what we got, like that was a lot. This is a lot of good TV.
Yeah, I agree.
We watched during the pandemic for the last year and a half.
I think that's the only reason why we didn't like completely lose our like. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of it, like it really did help.
I gotta watch The Flight Attendant. I heard it was good.
It's good. Yeah, it's a cute little mystery. White peopling again, as you mentioned, but it's not rooted in realism. It's just like a ridiculous story. But I liked it.
Are you excited for What If?
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun show to watch. You know, like it's like watching like the Justice League.
Like, do y'all expect people to be doing recaps on that? Like, do you feel like that's a recap show?
I'll do TikToks on it.
Yeah, it's just a lot to recap a TV show. It's a whole lot, y'all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't forget to like y'all. Yo, I can't believe 6 weeks have gone by so quickly, Sharonda.
Well, we only did 3 weeks though.
We did? Oh, dang. Well, I can't believe 3 weeks have gone by so quickly. I can't believe it. I'm gonna pull up when Shang-Chi drop. I'm gonna come when Shang-Chi drop. I'm gonna hop on the StreamYard. Yeah.
You gonna come on when Hawkeye getting hunted down?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, let's do those weekly. Absolutely.
I need a break. I'm not doing no recaps for What If unless it really touches my soul. No. I mean, I just need y'all know I don't like doing comic book recaps.
It's not even real. It's like What If is a game you play with your friends in high school. Like, what if? No. But I'm gonna watch. Yo, Hawkeye sucks, but I do have to say, once again, Black Widow spoilers, so dip if you haven't seen it. Yelena coming for that arse, okay? And I cannot wait. He deserved to go to jail. He deserved to get washed.
Valentina like that when literally her sister was telling her how Clint went on a whole mission around the world, left his family to go kill everyone that was controlling her. Like, why would she believe that easily?
Someone probably told her too. Like, yeah, she went to do this and she was the reason. And also, it probably was going around that Clint was not the old Clint. Because for 5 years, he was killing the blacks, the whites, the blacks, the Mexicans, and the Japanese. So, I mean, Yeah. And some of that is grief too, right? You need someone. Eternals get their memories back because of this. Ooh. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, they just saying it to get y'all to watch. Y'all don't have to prove it to me.
Yeah. We gonna watch Sharonda. You know what's so funny? Like we be like, I'm not excited to watch it, but we gotta watch it.
I'm gonna watch it, but I'll come back on Hawkeye. That's the next TV series, ain't it? Hawkeye or Miss Marvel?
I'll be here. It's Hawkeye.
It's Hawkeye? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here for that, yo. Be here. What we really got to do too, I can't wait, is the Incredible Hulk. She-Hulk. That's gonna be fire.
I'm excited for that.
Really? I hope they do it like Deadpool, because she was the first one to like break the fourth wall. She's hilarious. Like her comic books are funny. And Tatiana, orphan black girl, she's hilarious. So I think she's gonna do Sharonda gonna watch all of it.
Episode my baby daddy voice. How about that?
What if it's definitely canon now because of this Loki finale? True, but canon and like, am I gonna see it? That's her name, Mainsley. We're not gonna see anything. Everything is canon now. Technically, it's canon that I'm Captain America. If we go in that route, like Fantastic Frankie capes at night in that 616.
Dang, y'all say it's gonna be boring like that?
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking that about Falcon and the Winter Soldiers, and they surprised me. I just want to see people throw hands. That's all I ever want from this. So if they throw hands, I'm with it. I'm with it, man.
You said who baby dad? What baby dad?
Which one? And y'all, I'm sorry. Megan is not starring as the She-Hulk. She's in it. She's in the She-Hulk. She's not starring.
As herself.
Yeah, she playing Megan. I don't know if y'all ever seen, but even in her music videos, Megan is not a talented actress, which is okay because she's an incredible rapper. But they're not gonna give her the head of it. You see Marvel, don't play that. I think this picture was running in the black guy, so I hope Hawkeye gets his. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was Ronin. Yeah, we out.
How many Disney shows we got left, bro? You got like 6
forever. Me and Sharonda are going to be knitting on here, okay? 40 years from now, talking about
Secret Invasion, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Armor Wars. What else am I missing? Did I say? Wait. Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, Ironheart, Secret Invasion, Armor Wars. What am I missing?
Spider-Man. Oh, you talking about series or shows?
The Melage show.
Miss Marvel is going to be a show or a movie?
It's a show.
Yeah. America Chavez, show or movie?
Oh, they're doing it. Oh, yeah, Moon Knight.
Yeah, Marvel is flooding us forevermore. You guys don't understand. So even this is what they announced. Once these drop, they're gonna announce another 10. Like, this is forever. We have started a movement. The MCU is forever. It's its own studio. It's gonna be on for a very, very long time.
Cast as a character?
She got cast as Spider-Woman and into the Spider-Verse. That's not MCU.
That's Sony.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Like, what?
So when? So we'll see, man.
Isn't Oscar Isaac Moon Knight? Isn't that? Because he's already preparing for that.
Is he? Ooh, let me see.
Or is that the movie? Y'all correct me because y'all know I'll be making stuff up.
I don't be knowing. I think. Let me see.
Do you think Marvel will give us a Storm? No.
I don't know.
I don't even know if I wanted a list. They're gonna actually get an African actress.
Oh yeah, Oscar Isaac is fine.
It's hell.
Dang, I love a good Latino man. I was looking at Benicio del Toro on Snatch the other day. I didn't realize how much he looked like Brad Pitt, like Latino Brad Pitt.
Oh my goodness. I was telling somebody this and they looked at me. I'm so sorry y'all for screaming, but I was literally just telling somebody this because I interviewed him a couple weeks ago. And I was like, bro, I always thought that he looked like you know, like a Latinx person. I know everyone hates that word. Isn't he Spanish? Is he Spanish?
He's Spanish.
Yeah, like a white Spaniard.
Yeah, like he's Spaniard. Yeah.
I always thought he looked like a Spanish Brad Pitt. I always felt that way. Even when I was younger, I was like, it's literally like the Spanish Brad Pitt. But people were trying to like come down my throat, like, sis, what you talking about? They don't look nothing alike. And I was just like, that's fine.
They look exactly alike. In Snatch, he looks more like Brad Pitt than Brad Pitt looked like in Snatch. Because Brad Pitt is all like grubby and gross.
Yeah.
But like Benicio's all like smooth and like he looked, yeah, and he does that thing Brad Pitt does with his eyebrow this here. You know what I'm talking about? When you make the 3 lines and you all set.
Don't do it. Stop doing it. You're gonna get wrinkles.
Yeah, you're right.
I did not tell him that in real life because I was scared. I was talking to him and Don Cheadle. So I wasn't in my typical like situation.
Is Don Cheadle really short? I don't know why I'm whispering. Like,
he was super short in Space Jam, but that's because he was standing next to LeBron
James. Oh, so Benicio's from Puerto Rico?
Are you Puerto Rican?
Oh, he's like Joaquin. He's from San Juan. The rich Puerto Ricans.
But
Joaquin is full Puerto Rican. Joaquin Phoenix.
He is?
Yep. Oh, don't. Yeah. You go to Puerto Rico, they always bring him up. But you know, he doesn't like to talk about it.
Dang.
You know.
Why you don't talk about it?
Because that's going to limit his roles when she's Latino.
Brother?
Yes, both of them are Latino. But it's just like The Rock. You know, The Rock doesn't say he's black anymore.
He does because of his TV show now. He said he black now. He black again.
Oh, he said on the show. But before that, I was watching, I think it was Hobbs and Shaw. I was like, oh, so he's fully Samoan now. Like he had stopped being black. But you're right. But on his TV show, he has to acknowledge being black because his father is a famous black wrestler. So,
but I don't know but I think the problem is I don't know if he actually grew up around I don't think he grew up around his black family.
I don't care. You black. I don't care who you grew up around. You know what I'm saying? You said Vin Diesel don't say he's black anymore.
I don't know.
Nah, Vin Diesel always said he racially ambiguous for the roles. Because once you say you're black and claim it, it changes. You get what I'm saying? It changes it.
Are we getting real? I don't know. It depends on what the Lord put on my heart that day.
A Potomac? You be doing Real Housewives of Potomac? I love it. I really watch Atlanta.
They sent me the screener, and I was like, oh, okay. You know, they easily became my favorite after Atlanta started being whack. So.
Oh, nah, not lately. They got Bolo.
Yeah, Vin Diesel. I don't remember him ever acknowledging he was black.
Ever. Clearly, although, so in Fast 9, they have a black actor play his younger self. But then the actor who plays his like younger self, he's biracial, like he's black, but then also he's supposed to be Latino because there are scenes, but they're so like slick about it because there's scenes where people are speaking Spanish and he purposely answers them in English. Half man, half. Abundance been bringing heat this whole episode. This whole episode.
The medicine finale is good. Stop it.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. Spoiler alert. From Fast 9. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at it. It's been out two weeks. If you ain't seen it, 3 weeks. It came out in June. July almost over. Ain't no spoiler alert for that. And movies come out instantaneously. You can buy it on your thing. But I follow Maddie Rant. Oh, okay. I didn't know AK Watch was a woman until the other day. So welcome, girl.
Oh, AK Watch is a woman?
She said something. I thought it was AK Watch. I was like, oh, shut. Look at you.
Oh, dang.
See?
Look at us being
gatekeeping.
Right.
Gatekeeping. Oh, yeah. So someone said I Googled it. His character is Italian. Oh. Yeah, I thank you, ma'am. See, she's talking about Dominic Toretto. But then why are they drinking Corona?
Dominic Toretto.
Why they saying? Jokes.
I'm done.
Yeah.
He is not Italian. Y'all better stop with all of it. Y'all better stop lying. Shoot. Well, I guess we don't have nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, I know.
What time is it?
Yo, it's 7:30. It's the shortest one we've done. We normally do like 2 hours.
Like what?
Yo, we talked about a lot. Yo,
the way they got you thinking he's supposed to be Italian, I would never believe it.
Ever. Yo, Sharana, thank you, man. I had like people, friends, and family been like, Frankie, I can't believe you're doing stuff with Pay08. And I was like, I made it. I will send you the screenshots. My friend's mama was hyped. I don't even know she followed me like that. She was like, I can't believe it. And I was like, I can't believe either. I'm so hyped. Yeah. I mean, everybody who's been on here has been great. Obviously, I'm coming back. I had a great time. I'm so glad I got to talk about this with another woman.
Scare you away. I'm so happy that you came and chatted with us. I'm so happy that me stalking you just worked out for the best.
Absolutely. See, and that's the moral of the story. A good stalk, okay, will lead to prosperity.
See what it does for you?
It does. It brings the blessings. I'm gonna be in Atlanta. I don't know when, but definitely soon. So I'll let you know.
I love me some Atlanta. I'll be here.
Let me some Atlanta.
Daring to
shoot some guns.
Oh, do you watch The Witcher?
Huh?
You watch The Witcher?
You know I'm gonna have to.
You don't watch The Witcher?
No, I haven't. So I'm gonna watch it.
What?
Yo, I keep on starting the first episode and being like,
it's very slow. And you're gonna be highly confused until you reach like the 4th or 5th episode.
Right. So I'm gonna do it though because it's huge.
I'm just claiming now. Let me manifest that I get to talk to Henry Cavill. He used to be a huge crush of mine, and then he got too buff, and I just didn't. I don't like super buff people. Sorry.
Let me know how he smells.
I'm not gonna see him in person.
Oh dang.
You think we'll be? I don't think we'll be out of
absolutely
the by December. It comes out.
Yo, they not wearing masks in New York, and we were so uptight. No, they mean.
I think they're gonna start making people wear masks again because you can get a lot of people are getting COVID that were vaccinated. I was reading something, and I think it was Kat somebody. I think she was the girl who used to host So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah.
I hope that she has a speedy recovery. But they said she was taking care of someone that had COVID and she wasn't wearing a mask. And I was like, so you was taking care of somebody that had COVID and you wasn't wearing a mask or you weren't trying to social distance from that person, even if you had a vaccine?
Yo, people be wilding. I've been to a party that was like a vax party. Like you had to show that you were vaxxed to be there. And I was looking around. I was like, this is a super spreader. Like it was wild people there. No one had a mask. So yeah, I could believe that. I could believe that it's spreading and things may get a little bit more stringent. Either way, if you see him, ask him, where did he get the motivation to do that chamber thing he did in Mission Impossible? I need to know. You know what I'm talking about? With Fallout? Henry Cavill, he did that.
In the bathroom?
Yeah, the bathroom. That's my favorite. I don't know why. It's the best part. No, I
agree with you, Christine. This is a true statement.
Yeah, I always think people with too much muscle look like. Yeah, they look like a laundry bag full of meat. You know what I mean? That's what I always.
Got no neck. It just be like.
Yeah. Yeah, and they can't. No, I need some flexibility there.
But all guys are like, wait a minute. I thought they liked people with muscles, and it's like that's not true. It's not true.
We like you to be fit, not like you know what I'm saying. Like, I think the
abs work, right, but like I don't need you to be like I gotta feed you 10 pieces of chicken a day for you.
My cap is Chris Hemsworth.
He's a little bit too big for me too.
I don't know, man.
Chris Evans. I don't even like Chris Evans. Remember, like, I don't know if it's the first couple of Captain Americas. They had him like super slow. And I was like, this is not necessary. Did y'all do this so he could pull the helicopter and we could believe it? Because I was like, I was just
saying. Because I did best. One of the best 5 seconds I've ever seen in cinema history. I was like, oh my God.
He was pulling that. I think he said he pulled a muscle. I was like, baby, you was acting. You pulling muscles with the fake helicopter?
He changed because it was still pulling up, right? And he changed the.
I was like, what?
I was feeling it. So yeah.
You said I wouldn't be. Wait to interview who? Hey, Zach. Thank you. You keep killing it. Congrats on your 20,000 subscribers, Zach. I meant to text you today.
Congratulations. I love to see people win in this space because
Zach is so positive. Like, I just want to be positive like him because he's killing it.
I love to see it.
But yeah. Who would I be too nervous to interview? I do want y'all to know I've been manifesting this interview with Chris, and I've started since I'm on my journey to a bad bitch. I've actually been looking up sites that have cool suits so I can get ready.
I love it. You know, and you look great today. I love the finger wave.
Thank you. Woo,
you look good. You look good.
I didn't work out today. I had interviews today. And I was like, you know how your makeup look good? That you just like, I was like, I'm not gonna work out. I'm gonna just keep this on and do the little live. And then I gotta watch American Horror Stories. I was like, okay.
I love
Let
it.
me find Chris today. Why I can't see Chris Evans today?
Dang. Yo, they starting it on Twitter. I've been tagging a couple things like get Chris Evans an interview. It may happen. I'm gonna start doing it too. You gonna be at a Comic-Con?
No, do not tag him on anything with me. I can't.
I will. I'll tag him in the one where you talk about his butt.
I slid in his DMs one day when I was drunk, but at least I didn't say nothing crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I'm
mad respectful.
I'm out of here. I'm about to go eat some food.
Oh yeah, I forgot we start Frankie on Wednesdays.
I love to eat though. I'm good. But yeah, tonight. I'm out of here. I love it.
Oh, I think it's tomorrow. I think it's tonight. Sorry. I forgot. It's either hopefully it's tomorrow so I can just go to sleep, but we'll see. A Peloton is worth it. Thank you guys so much for listening to us chat. Frankie, thank you for being the most amazing co-host. Thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate you. Hopefully we can do this again soon. Not too soon so we can get a break, but maybe we can have other shows. But yeah, I want to miss talking to you every Wednesday.
I know. I'm going to feel really weird next week. That's why I always check it in. I'm like, are we talking tonight at 6?
I know. When I be last minute making up thumbnails and stuff, I still got to figure out how to do the white thing around people's heads.
I saw TikTok of it and then I lost it because I want to do that too and I lost it. But we'll figure it out. You could do it on Canva, I heard.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. American Horror Stories tomorrow. I'm free. I'm going to do a gunpowder milkshake review and call it a day then.
I love it. I love it.
All right. I love you guys so much. Protect your peace. Protect your energy. Don't let nobody steal your joy.
That's right.
I hope that y'all have the most amazing rest of your weeks ever. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. And we will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.